with by noon. What is strategic planning to me? How can I build a great strategic plan? And what will I think about in my organization today if I were responsible for the execution side? In fact, forget about you being at that senior level involved in the execution of the big plan, but I've got a slice of it. How can my organization, how can my department assist in the execution of that strategy? That's what I want you to think about. I want you to go away with nuggets that you can apply. Now, I'm not going to hand the solution to you because there is no solution. And we're going to hear today, it depends. It depends on your environment, on your organization, on the sector you work in, on the work you do. There's a whole bunch of issues, and we'll get those out on the table. Sounds simple, but let's talk about this one. What's strategy execution? Anyone? Sir. The implementation of the strategy and a full thought process of how it's going to happen. Tactics. How? What steps we can take? Anybody else?
I would have said resource planning at this stage.
Resource planning now? Awesome. Resource planning, making sure that we've got the right people. Oh, maybe not. Maybe making sure we have the right people is part of strategy and the plan, but allocating and managing those resources all about the execution. Part of the continuous and review, and we'll talk about steps to the puzzle, nuggets, parts of the process that people believe that this execution piece is so critical to. Any other thoughts? Yes? Communicating, making sure we've got alignment throughout the organization. Thank you. Awesome. Planning of the timing, where it's all going to work. Getting buy-in from everyone, from top to bottom. This is all about making sure that the strategy is executed, and this is where the gap is. This is where I believe this whole discussion becomes really fascinating. And it's been an interesting journey to see the gap, and being from that projects piece, that portfolio piece. This every piece of work the Royal Bank Technology Department or Rogers Business Development Group is doing is part of a project, part of a portfolio of work that feeds in, should feed in to the strategy. And it's amazing where that gap has been hit. His thoughts. And Sharan is one of them. He wrote what the CEO wants to know about and what boards work with, or wants you to know and boards that work. Execution, part of it. Execution is a great unaddressed issue in the business world today. Its absence is the single biggest obstacle to success and the cause of most of the disappointments that are mistakenly attributed to other causes. We're looking for people, leaders, that can get things done. Unfortunately, the biggest problem is we can't stay competitive without sound strategic planning and a focused strategic execution plan. We're creating some great leaders, but they can't execute. They look great up there, but they can't execute. Why do you think most strategies fail? And they do. But if you believe that, what's your guess? Yes, sir.
I don't think people know what the strategy is.
They don't know what the strategy is. Why? It wasn't communicated. No one knows it. It wasn't communicated. Or it was. When? Once. Rolled out of the big meeting. Big town hall. We talked about the town hall this morning. They stand up in front of the town hall, meet together, everyone together. They video conference all the outsiders in. They announce the new strategy. Vision 2018. Da-dum. And then what happens? They all go back to work. Yes, sir. Inexecutable. Because it was flawed in the beginning. It was flawed in the beginning. They didn't get it. They made assumptions that just couldn't be executed. Anybody else? Sharan says execution is not just something that does or doesn't get done. It's a culture with specific set of behaviors and techniques that companies need to master in order to have competitive advantage. It's a culture.